Hey there, it's your good friend Tom Peterson, and I'm going to take you on the good old time machine, going back to June 1992, over 32 years ago. Wow, what a time. I was about 20 years old. I had my future ahead of me. Graduating from North Quincy High in June, I just this past school year would have been doing a work study program that the city of Quincy was paying for, and we could work at nonprofits. Eastern Nazarene College in Wollaston, it's on East Elm Ave, was a good place to put me. My teacher, Jim Lynch, introduced me to the college, and he was basically the teacher that was in charge of me being there. I guess he had some ties to ENC, or I think it was more contacts than anything. But he helped me even get a job at Wollaston Market that I had for 5 years, overlap in high school and then the early times, back in the early 90s. But when I was working both at Eastern Nazarene College and Wollaston Market, I know my future was not at the market. It was going to be at the college. And that decision has worked for 32 years. It's going to work for 32 and a half years. It's not going to get up to 33 by any means. I'll be lucky if I come back in January and we have a Christmas break. I might be ending right when Christmas vacation would normally happen. But I don't know any of that. Definitely, HR has not contacted me. They're but they're trying their best to deal with the people that are going to be leaving the college a lot sooner. In facilities, I don't think we lose anybody here in August, but several departments, including athletics, are shutting down. And it was a great Hall of Fame event back on Sunday evening. It started at 4 o'clock, but there were so many people to honor. It basically went past 7 o'clock. But it was a good event. I was happy for it to be over, but I wanted to be part of that. So sad. It was a lot of crying, a lot of laughing, a lot of learning some history, and just hearing stuff that I've already known. It was a good event at the church, the Hall of Fame. It was great to see Dr. Nancy Detwell honored, having the athletic floor or gym floor, the basketball court, volleyball court, whatever you want to call it, dedicated to her. She's an awesome person. I never wanted to cross her. She scared me sometimes, but I know she was a very fair person, and she was a good judge of character, and she knew what was going on all the time. You could not mess around with her. She was good, and still is. I work with her grandson, Evan Detweiler, and this guy, during off hours, I'm on campus, I can see this happening. During off hours, in the evenings and on the weekends, he's working, doing landscaping, watering something, or just making sure something's right. And I know he's taking care of his grandparents or working with his grandparents and helping them out. And that's good. That's good. He's a good guy. I've seen him grow up on our campus. I don't know too much of the family, but I know those two. But back in that Wayback Machine, it has put us into June 1992. The director of facilities, Russ Williams. The custodial manager, Sonny Achdal. Lead custodian, Derek Mason. I would say the maintenance manager was Scott Fuller. The boiler room was his place, and he had a great amount of staff working with him. We've had a small maintenance department in recent years. We've had a lot more custodians now than we had back in 1992. It was mostly student labor. And that was difficult at the end of the summer, to have something going on in September. It'd take a while to get people hired. That was always a challenge in September. The summer always started off great. You know, Memorial Day was graduation back then. That was a little tough because the day after graduation or commencement, we're back on campus on that Tuesday coming up the holiday. Now we do it on a Saturday, or see, we have been doing it on Saturdays and first Saturday of May. Now, if you're somebody that likes selling flowers on the first Saturday of May here in Quincy, and you like coming into Wollaston, and you want to come over to the East Elmham campus, be my guest. I'm not so sure if you're going to have buyers. So sad losing Eastern Nazarene. But we had some good people back then, and I wanted to name them off. I remember them. There's some people I've worked with between then and now. I remember them. Can't say I always remember their names. And some stories nobody wants me to tell about some of these people. Some crazy people we have dealt with. And I mean dealt with. But some of the best people on earth I've got to work with as well. You know, a lot of great people. I just recently saw Tim Stiles, one of my maintenance guys, alumnus of Eastern Nazarene, long-time history with the college. So many members of his family, Tim Stiles, attended Eastern Nazarene. He thought I retired. I think I saw him Monday over a week ago. No, Tim, this man has not retired. I still have a few more years. I'm going to have to restart somewhere else, other than if I win the lottery soon or I find a jackpot that I don't know about. But Tim sticks out in my head. One guy that Tim would know that passed away years ago. He was a good man, and it was tough losing him. Richard Casper, good man. Did a lot of the tiling work and painting. You know, he was a good guy. It was tough losing him. I think it was back around 2000 or so. But I'm not totally sure about that. But I remember him. I remember the Colonel Sanders, honorary title the students gave him. You know, right now I don't totally recall his name, but he was a pastor up in Canada, retired, and somebody invited him to come south of Boston to Quincy to work at Eastern Nazarene College, and he took his custodianship and worked a long time. By the time I met him, he was already partially retired, living at the young apartment building where this man lives now. And the Colonel, he was a legend back in the day. We have a family lounge in the Mann Student Center with an artificial fireplace, but a nice, beautiful room dedicated to him. It's sad it's not going to be used, at least by ENC students, too much longer. But we do have a fall semester. There will be students on campus, just not the full allowance. It's just simply students that are eligible to graduate in the fall. But 1992 is the year I came to Eastern Nazarene College and graduated from North Quincy High. I'm doing custodial work at ENC ever since. Great times. Great times. There's been some floods and people who got sick and those type of messes had to get cleaned up. You know, and then people tapping your shoulder, thanks, Tom. But I've had some really good times and seen some great events. I remember the men's basketball team, I think it was 97, winning 6 home tournament games. The conference, they swept that, and then they were part of a regional tournament, the ECACs, and they won that one. 6 great wins. That building was rocking back in 97. 99, women's basketball had their great year. They went to the Sweet 16 of the NCAA D3. That was awesome. You know, obviously most of us weren't with cell phones. Those things were a lot bigger, and they might not have had a camera like we do here in 2024. Now everybody has their own social media platform of one form or another. I'm on YouTube, Tom of Quincy. That's my only social media. And everything else is me texting with family and friends, as well as talking to them face to face and talking to them on the phone. Love them. And I love my home city of Quincy, and hopefully I can keep on living here in Quincy. That I get a job that pays enough to pay for a very modest apartment. I have one cousin that will be working with me on that, and obviously the school and the school and the state will come and help when these operations shut down and there's layoffs. I've not had to go through this. Thanks to Jim Lynch, I kind of landed both of my jobs because of him, and I kept this one. That's me, but he helped me. I've never really had to search for a job. Now, because they have outsourced this job twice, basically E&C hired me 3 times, and as well as the company that it was outsourced to hired me twice, and it was the same company twice, and I guess there's no problem. The Cinexo. Who's to say I might land up with them again? You just don't know. I'm not seriously looking at jobs right now, but that is a possibility. But they were good, but I was here for E&C. I think everybody understood that. No, I love Eastern Nazarene College, the E&C Lions, before that the E&C Crusaders. But I basically wanted this to be talking about back in 1992, but also talking about that great night just 2 nights ago. About 48 hours ago, we were at the church for that Hall of Fame event. I was great. And previous to going to the church, we started at the gym right up at 4 o'clock, honoring Dr. D, Dr. Nancy L. Detweiler. Athletic director for so long, more than a half-century service to the college. In my family, we know stuff about working at jobs for a long time. I had an aunt who worked 53 years. I don't know, maybe my cousins can correct me, but I believe 53 years at the Perkins School for the Blind in Watertown, Massachusetts. She was a legend there. And we found out how much of a legend at the funeral home, and the president of Perkins School talking about how he was getting emails and letters from all over the world of people that she affected and heard of her passing. Legendary. I won't break that record. Basically, I've not even been alive that long yet. Getting very close at age 52. But Aunt Lillian, definitely a legend. Okay, about 14 minutes. I'll cut this at 15. I was planning for a 5 to 10 minute one, but hey, I'm Tom. I'm crazy, but I'm also happy. And Jesus Christ is part of my life. Jesus is hope. He is my Lord and Savior. He gives me strength, I'll tell you. I might not be a Bible scholar. You might not see me in church all the time. But I love Christ, and I have faith. And I know I'll get through this. I don't know exactly how, but I will get through this. I have too many good people rallying around me. And I know people were choking up when they were doing their speeches and everything on Sunday night, and I'm starting to choke up a little. It's tough. When you love something, you'll love it. And with that, I say, have a great one. Jesus is hope. And thank you for checking out Tom of Quincy.